Ali, the Administrative Manager from KSI. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. All the students, as you know that we have been trying to become a bridge between a university and a students so that we can give a platform where all the students can talk to the university representative and learn a critical skill from the university. So my I'll
Hello.
talk about a little bit about KSI, which offers a master's degree. And the good thing about this university is, which most of the Indians look for when it comes to a computer and information system. So they have a great CIS program for the master's students and which offers in the different concentrations like computer networks, information security, knowledge management, MIS, software engineering. So I'm sure today's webinar is actually going to help you to learn that how you could get for your MSCIS degree. Okay, so I'll not take much time and would introduce Ms. Angie Ali. She's been working with KSI and since 5 years as an administrative manager, and she would be the one to be a point of contact person for all the students, for the admission purpose. Angie Ali, thank you so much for joining us today. We heartily welcome you here with us, and we got students who are listening to you, so it's all yours now. Thanks.
Okay, great. Hello, everyone. My name is NJ. Thank you very much for that introduction. I'm the Administrative Manager of Knowledge Systems Institute Graduate School. We're known as KSI for short. And thank you to those of you who have looked forward to this webinar and learning about KSI. And we would really like to take a moment to thank Study Metro and their team for allowing us to have this method of connecting with you students. Being in this position with the school for several years, I've learned a lot about international student admissions and the guidance required, so I hope this webinar helps all of you that are in need. Today we will overview the programs offered by KSI, the admissions criteria, deadlines, and the student experience, as well as the tuition rates and the value of earning a degree from KSI. And we are also going to take a moment to discuss the challenges for international students in terms of understanding a school's program and their requirements per federal regulations, which change frequently, and processes to be aware of in terms of visa application timeframe. So we're going to move on. I'd like to first discuss the origins of KSI and how the school actually began, just so you understand more about the school. So it was originally developed as a research center, and our founder of our school, being so very adept in computer and information sciences, understood the need of computer scientists and professionals. So this led to a graduate school being developed with a very singular focus, which is awarding master's degree in computer and information sciences. So KSI is a private, not-for-profit. This is an important point of note, as nonprofit schools, they're generally more engaged in their students and want to form a substantial academic relationship with each and every one of its students. Also, according to the United States Citizenship Immigration Services Department, which is also known as USCIS, attending for-profit schools can leave you ineligible for future status changes or even extensions. So going to a non-for-profit is what international students should actually be looking for. And KSI is regionally accredited by the Higher Learning Commission of the North Central Association of Colleges and Schools, which is also known as the HLC, and that is a regional accreditation recognized by the Education, and we are also certified from the Illinois Board of Education as well. since we are located in the state of Illinois. And a major convenience factor provided by KSI is the availability that we have of weekend classes. And we can go into this in more detail. Firstly, KSI is located in Skokie, Illinois, which is very close to the city of Chicago. Our campus is very beautiful, humble, and an inviting place for students. There's plenty of public transportation options that leave you very close to the school. Our website actually has this great feature under the About KSI section. We have like a transportation field where you can actually see PowerPoints that guide you really nicely, like as if you've, just been dropped in, because being an international student, this is your first time in the States, and the transit system is not something you're familiar with. So KSI understands that, and we've developed these PDFs to kind of teach you how to use that transit system to at least get to the school. And it's just to mention, like, our website alone, it's just a very valuable tool, and we emphasize transparency, and you can review so much information about KSI there. Our email, of course, if you may not know, it's really simple. It's just www.ksi.edu, and you can look at our history, our mission, a virtual tour of the school, and then more details about accreditation and such. So this is of our campus and our surrounding location, which is the village of Skokie. And KSI is a small structured school. We have on average students and faculty ratio of 20:1. And with an added convenience of classes being on Saturdays and Sundays, we of course offer weekday courses as well. This option is very unique, and it's one of the ways KSI's administration understands what our international students need, being that they are all adults trying to develop a professional life too and gain education for their careers. And with this avenue, it gives students a lot of freedom to use their weekdays for internships or activities or research for their coursework. And our faculty is excellent. Our faculty is nearly 100% PhD in computer science holders from reputable, accredited universities. And as I mentioned before about how helpful our website is, it also includes details about our faculty, such as like their background, any presentations they may have done, any kind of literature they may have distributed. So it's all really helpful there. Now to learn more about our master's degree program. As mentioned, KSI offers a master's degree in computer and information sciences. Then we also have several areas of concentration in the event that you want to kind of gear towards a more focused field. So these areas of concentration include computer networks, information security, management information systems, knowledge management, and software engineering. They may be the same regardless of what concentration you choose. So that doesn't factor in. The only thing that factors in is your personal interest. So this is also commonly, we just call it like what your major is. You can go towards the state computer science degree or computer network side, so on and so forth. And then the degree program itself involves 27 credits and courses for a thesis project. When we say 27 credits, equivalent to actually 13, 12 each you may take inductions comes through. We do have like a maximum of 4 prerequisites. However, if you have a computer science background, you can take an exam that could waive you out of taking those prerequisites. And that's actually the very last thing that you would do. Like once you finally arrive to the States and join KSI, then you would take this waiver exam at our campus, and you just have to score a 75%, and it's a computerized test. There's no written portion or anything. And it roughly takes students about 2 years to complete the master's degree program. We've seen it done sooner as well, since a lot of students, they like to take several classes at a time so that they can get their degree faster. So in that case, it's in your hands how soon you can get your degree, but it generally takes 2 years. Now we'll go into the admissions criteria and deadlines to keep in mind. So the deadlines mentioned here are for the fall, spring, and summer, and that is of fall 2016, spring 2017, and summer of 2017. Our fall application deadline is August 8th, spring is December 19th, and the summer is May 8th. But it's important for you all to note that these deadlines, they don't factor in like visa application processing time, and these deadlines are simply for like your admission documents. Like, when are those due? You have to turn in admission documents by that date. So going into the admission requirements, they're all mentioned here, and this one is broken up into which documents must be original and like sent to KSI. So we do require that applicants have a 4-year bachelor's degree. We really stress that because being a graduate school, we only offer that master's degree program. So those without a bachelor's degree, they wouldn't qualify. And KSI, again, being a smaller school, we don't have like one separate department that's going to evaluate your credits. So you would have to get your credits, or also they're known as mark sheets. You would get that evaluated by either WES or ECE. We recommend WES. They are quite more accurate than ECE, and they're a bit more trustworthy when it comes to their time frames. So for those of you that are unfamiliar with what WES is, this is an evaluation service which translates your mark sheets and reflects them to what it equals to in US standards. So this evaluation, it should be a course by course with a GPA result. Currently, the WES website states that these evaluations are of cost, and it takes approximately 7 business days. And their current cost, I believe it is $160 to do an evaluation. And you can find more details independently on their website. You just go to wes.org to learn more. And then the financial documents, that's also a major requirement for international students. You must show that you have at least $20,000 in US dollars. If you have your own account, and that's under your name, then you'll only need to show your official bank statement. However, if you have a sponsor who's supporting you for schooling, be it your parents or whomever that is a relative of yours, then they'll need to provide an affidavit of support stating your relationship and the fact that this is for schooling and livelihood expenditure. And these documents can be simply emailed across to office@ksi.edu. There are, these are the more standard documents, and of course we have an application and an application fee, which you can visit our website to complete. You'll just, on the very home page, you'll be able to find an Apply Now logo, and then just click on that and complete the form. Other things like your diploma, your passport, and letters of recommendation, as well as TOEFL, those can all be scanned and emailed. For your passport, we're only actually looking for the first and the last page. And then for your TOEFL scores, if they're expired, that's okay. We just want to see that you have like passing scores of at least 80 for the internet-based test. And then as far as the letters of recommendations go, those should be emailed from whoever it is that's recommending you. And they just have to be like roughly like 2 paragraphs or so. And at least one of them needs to be from the academic side, so from a professor or like a dean of some sort. So that you guys would have to take care of. And those are the application deadlines that pertain to these documents. So processing time is very important, because although August 8th is an appropriate time for you to submit documents, that doesn't factor in the 7 business days it takes for WES to do evaluations, and most importantly for visa processing times. But KSI's turnaround time, when regards to your documents and letting you know if you were accepted, we have an excellent turnaround time. Being a smaller school and being so focused, it usually only takes us 3 to 5 business days to get back to you. And for students that are interested in understanding more about the visa process and how long it takes, there's a very useful website called www.travel.state.gov. And so it's a US website wherein you can actually enter the city where the embassy is located, and they give you an estimation of how long it takes. So for example, like if you just type in Hyderabad, which is a really popular city in India, then you'll see like it takes 28 calendar days. So you guys could learn more by going to that website. Now, being on a non-immigrant F1 visa, it's important to understand that you have certain requirements to meet because you are now going to be a full-time student. So a full-time student is defined as completing 24 credit hours in your first academic year. And 24 credits is equivalent to 8 courses. So you have 3 semesters to complete 8 courses. So you could, for instance, complete 4 courses in the fall and 4 courses in the spring, and then take summer break. Or you could take 3 classes in the fall, 3 in the spring, and 2 in the summer, leaving no break. The only thing that could, disrupt your credit requirement is failing a class leads to you earning 0 credits. So these are all things that international students should keep in mind, because you won't have the ability to have like a lighter load. You'll have to go in with full dedication to the program. So next we're going to review our tuition breakdown and the structure of our tuition as well. So this is just an overview of the cost of the master's degree. Without prerequisites, it's roughly $20,000. With prerequisites, it's roughly $22,000. And then if you take an area of concentration, such as like computer networks, information security, what we were talking about a few slides ago, you'll have $27,000 without prerequisites, and then roughly $29,000 with prerequisites. And it's important to also note that these rates, they don't include the material fee, which is a $5 material fee per class, and then a laboratory fee of $50 per semester. So yes, so you're charged on a credit rate basis. So like I was mentioning earlier, just because you've selected computer networks or software engineering, your tuition rates, they wouldn't change. Every single class in KSI is 3 credits, and you are charged by the credit. So 1 credit is $576. There is a laboratory fee of $50 per semester, and a material fee of $5 per class. And there are 3 semesters per year. So if you look at the breakdown, in the event that you take 2 courses, it's $35.16. 3 courses would be $52.49. Now, we do offer installment payment plans towards all students, and we take the full amount and we break it up into 2 even payments. So you do have the option of exercising that and requesting to take the installment payment plan. There's no person that would be turned away from it. So yeah, and then the yearly cost breakdown for 2 courses and to 3 courses per year, it's about $10,000, and then 3 courses a year would be $15,000. So next we go into the employment eligibilities for international students. And the thing to understand about curricular practical training, which is also known as CPT, federal regulations state that international students have to be holding valid F1 status for at least 1 full academic year. So for instance, if you joined us in the fall of 2016, you wouldn't be eligible for CPT benefits until fall of 2017. And that too would only be stressing part-time employment. Also, your employment may only be in Illinois and only be related to your major at KSI. So that's something to keep in mind. There are schools out there that provide CPT, earlier. However, it's because you're working with the school. And KSI being such a small campus, right now we don't have any employment opportunities provided to international students. But this is something to keep in mind, that once you have met that 1 year requirement, then you're free to look into internships and all, and then you just have to provide us with the appropriate materials. The materials needed are a hiring letter, an application form, and a cooperative agreement. This is also outlined in the KSI website. It links you directly to the forms, gives you direct samples of what we're looking for when it comes to the hiring letter, and so on and so forth. And so the other thing to note is KSI's program, it is a part of the STEM qualifications. So it's science, technology, engineering, mathematics. So we fall into the science category. And it does leave students eligible for OPT, which is optional practical training after you graduate. And that indicates that you may study and that you have studied, and now you're going into executing what you've learned in the field. So with OPT, you actually now, due to recent developments, you have 12 months initially, and then you have the extension request, which is going to be an additional 24 months. So you're looking at 36 full months of OPT under STEM category. So that's also very great. And then we would help you out to apply for OPT. We help you in all the documentations that come with that. You simply have to just provide us with the appropriate materials, and then we can guide you along with that. So the administrative office is extremely adept when it comes to understanding these requirements. And we also, for that reason, make ourselves very, very available. We are here even on weekends to work with students if they have any questions. And again, our website, if you go to the chat icon, you'll be chatting directly with me or directly with another officer. So, and we're all as knowledgeable here. So it's really convenient for you guys. Now going into our students. Our students are outrageously kind. They are very, very great, and they're from some of the most culturally rich countries in the world, and we respect their ethnic backgrounds and want our students to feel welcome. And we pride ourselves in providing a welcoming atmosphere for our students. And an academic environment is just as essential as a nurturing one. So we frequently have little small events to support our community and celebrate students' ethnic backgrounds and welcome them to the school. So for instance, like we held a short little ethnic fest where the school provided different treats from around the world. And students were completely taken aback by trying something from Turkey or from the Philippines or from India and Pakistan, and they all had such a wonderful time. And there was videos that went over quick facts about the country, and it was just all very well done. And we always like to make the students feel welcome. So when coming back after a break from school, we've always provided refreshments and things, and just giving you guys an understanding that we care about your growth in academics, but we also care about your growth as a person, and understanding that you have to be a quality person anywhere you go. So in summary, KSI is absolutely unique. It is dedicated to helping students achieve their academic goals, and I hope this webinar proved useful for you all today. And if you have any questions, I guess we can get that started right now as well.
Thank you very much, NJ. We do have some questions here, so I'll ask you one by one, and you can answer accordingly.
Sure.
So the first question asked by the Abhinav Chaurasia: what are the things covered as a part of the information security course?
Okay, so as a part of the information security program, there are 6 courses that are core requirements and 4 that are area electives. So for the information security program, it's designed to ensure that you are understanding the confidentiality, integrity, and the availability of computer systems components. So you're looking at security concepts, principles, methods, techniques, and you're going to be utilizing all hands-on programming and to learn about this. So you will not only learn how to organize database, but how to protect a computer network by combining firewalls and encryption techniques. And this is all explained in greater detail on our website as well. I hope that satisfied your question, but if you wanted a more detailed answer, I can go into it further for you.
Okay, thank you very much. We have a second question from Praveen. Does this programs come under the STEM?
Yes, it absolutely does. We fall under computer science, so that's the sciences. That's the S in STEM. So yeah, we absolutely fall into STEM.
Okay. The third question asked by the Paras. Hi madam, I scored 59 in TOEFL and 282 in the GRE. Can I get admission in the MS in Computer Science?
So as far as GRE goes, that's not a requirement of KSI. However, for TOEFL, a 59 is quite low, so considering that our minimum requirement is an 80. If the TOEFL exam is proving very difficult for you, I would recommend maybe seeking out the Ielts test. Perhaps that might be a little bit more useful for you. That score we're looking for is a 6.5 band. And that's a more British geared exam, so it's a little bit more of what you guys learn in English medium schools. So that might be a good idea for you, but using 59 you wouldn't be able to get the admission to the school.
Okay. We have another question from Kritika. Will recommendation letter will be accepted or only the direct email from the recommendator will be accepted?
Either one is perfectly fine. If you're planning to mail out a letter of recommendation, so long as it's sealed, that's great. Otherwise, it can just be an emailed letter directly from the recommender. Usually we find that students take that option since it's a bit more convenient for them. They don't have to keep checking with us to see if the mail was received and such. So having your recommender emailing it out is a good method too. And we would confirm with your recommender, thank you, it was received, and just so they are also aware.
Okay. The another question asked by the Rabindra that do you have any scholarships for MIS or CIS program?
At this moment in time, we have a merit scholarship, and I know for a fact that the school is trying to develop an entrance scholarship, though I'm not aware of any details that come to that and how international students factor in.
Okay. The another question asked by the Minu Mishra that is ESL program is available on campus?
Well, right now we don't have an ESL program, though we used to several years ago. It's possible that it might be started up with KSI again. I would recommend that you just fill out a contact us form and just express your interest in the English language program. The contact us form, it's just a really brief little widget that's on our website. So if you just include that you're interested in that, if that program ever happens to come about, we would always just send out an email to you and let you know how you can learn more and apply.
Okay. Um, we have another question from one of the students. Can mechanical engineering graduate can get the admission?
Mechanical engineering. So that's usually more like hardware and not very computer science related directly. However, if you have a strong GPA, you can still get admission into the school. Again, you just need a 2.75 GPA in order to be accepted. And if you don't have a computer science background, that is when our prerequisites will come into play, because our 4 prerequisites should give you the foundation you need to understand the program. That's actually exactly what our admissions team does. the chairman of our computer science department looks over your WES report and all of your other admission documents to see if you meet those prerequisites. So sometimes those prerequisites prove really useful, especially to students who are changing their majors.
Okay, another question come from the Ravindra. What are your accreditation and how do you compare KSI with the typical university?
Sure. So we're accredited by the Higher Learning Commission of the North Central Association of Colleges and Schools. So that's a U.S. Recognized accreditation, and that's regional accreditation. So although we're a small school, we still stand par with larger universities, like some that you may know is like the University of Illinois at Chicago, or DePaul University or Loyola University. Those are all under the same regional accreditation. So our credits are just as valued as those greater name schools. And if you, again, our website, if you visit our website and see the accreditation tab, you can learn more about what accreditation is and how KSI is verified.
Okay. Another questions come for the scholarships. Any scholarships options, and what are the requirement for that?
So at this time, we only offer the Merit Scholarship, and the Merit Scholarship, you actually have to complete about 4 semesters in order to apply for it. And the application process is just a letter or a research topic, and it has to be about a 500 worded essay that's focusing on computer science. And then you just need a letter of recommendation from a faculty member. So that's how the merit scholarship works. However, as far as entrance scholarships goes, we don't have that set up and running just yet. But I know that the school is planning on figuring that, and you'll be able to learn more if you, again, just complete a contact us form on our website. And then once we have more information about scholarships, then it will be on our website, and definitely it will be on our website under the research and arts section.
Okay. Another question asked by the Praveen that I don't have IELTS and TOEFL, but I completed my education in English medium. Can I get admission for the MS program?
Regrettably, we would need either a TOEFL or an IELTS to completely prove your English proficiency. But considering that you guys usually go to English medium schools, it shouldn't be too difficult to come by. It's also something useful to have. Majority of schools nowadays do require either TOEFL or IELTS. So it's like sooner rather than later is like a good idea. Like it's a good, train of thought to keep in mind is just to have it versus stopping you from getting admission. So I would recommend that you guys go out and get TOEFL and IELTS. Without it, you cannot get admission into KSI.
Okay. Another question come from Mr. Jad that is PTE also acceptable?
I'm sorry, I didn't quite hear you.
PTE, that is Pearson test, is acceptable?
I've never personally heard of PTE, um, so I don't believe that it would be accepted. But you could email us and request PTE, and then we can provide that to the appropriate admissions counselor, probably more likely to the chairman of the computer science department to see the feasibility of accepting a PTE.
Okay. The another question asked by the student, can a BBA students can go for the MIS right away?
Can a VBA student, is that
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
VBA, again, not familiar with what VBA is. If that is a certain degree type, you do
Yeah,
have to have it.
it's a 3 years degree that is a business bachelor in business administration.
Okay, so 3 years degree, those, from my experience, every time they are evaluated, it only equals to 3 years of college. And that is, in US standards, not equal to a bachelor's degree. Bachelor's degree are 4-year colleges. So you could still get an evaluation done just to see if your program was strong enough to qualify it as a US standard bachelor's degree.
Okay. Again, one more question for the scholarships. What about the scholarships percentage offered if we applied early?
For the merit scholarships, thus far, like if you have 5 students that apply, at least 3 will get it. So your competition is pretty much the students that applied, but we don't factor in like the admitted scholarships because we don't have that on yet. So I can't give you statistics for that one.
Okay. The another question asked by Kavita: How soon the I-20 can be released?
So the I-20, so firstly, you have an acceptance letter that's provided by the school, which takes 3 to 5 business days after we get all of your admission documents. So your I-20 would realistically be ready for you within that time frame also. And then we would compile those documents, your acceptance letter and the I-20, and we would ship it directly to your address provided on your application form. And if you wanted to get tracking with your package, then we would just correspond with you to figure out the shipping details. And yeah, so like I mentioned, after we get all of your documents, it's only 3 to 5 business days that these materials would be ready to go.
Okay. The other question asked by the student that WS can be submitted in the on campus while he is studying in the first semester.
WES is needed prior to you getting an acceptance letter. So without a WES, we can't make an acceptance letter. However, WES, they have a method where they will mail out the evaluation directly to the school. So that cuts away, any time of you worrying about it getting to you and then you having to ship it. So that cuts out the middleman. And their turnaround time is, as described on their website, it's 7 business days.
Okay. The another question asked by Neha: when I can work off campus?
You can work off campus after you've been holding 1 year of valid F1 status. So, for example, if you join us for the fall of 2016, which is this August 2016, you may seek CPT and employment off campus starting fall of 2017, meaning August of 2017.
Okay. So for first year they can work part time, that is 20 hours per week.
For the first year, there is no employment. And then starting from there, once they've hit their 1 year, so like again, let's keep with the example August 2016 to August 2017. So in August of 2017, you may opt for part time CPT and look for employment individually.
Okay. And the another question asked by what is the application fee?
The application fee, it's a one time only fee of $50. And you can have that covered by completing the application form. There's a credit card field, and then you just enter your credit card information.
Okay. Okay. Is this waived for the study metro students?
I'm sorry.
Is this waived for the study metro students?
I personally don't think so. No, it wouldn't be waived off. Um, it applies to all students. So yeah, it would be applied towards any applicant. It's a $50 application fee.
Okay. Okay. There's another question asked by Praveen that I have IELTS General 6.5 but not GRE. I'm eligible for the admission.
You are eligible for admission as KSI does not require GRE. And your 6.5 band is perfectly suitable. You do, however, need to get your mark sheets evaluated by WES. We do that rather than GRE.
Okay, okay. Minu asked the question that is any pathway programs are available if I am not able to meet academics requirement?
If you're not able to meet academic requirements for the admissions criteria, you could always work with the administrative office through emails, and we could always pass along some details from you to the appropriate person and see if there's anything that can be done. Something like that, it is beyond the administrative officer's control. We don't get final say in things like that. That all comes from the chairman of the computer science department.
Okay. The another question asked by Abhinay. His question is, I heard few college give stipend in return while studying along. So is there any chances for stipend?
No, we don't have that right now.
Okay, okay. I think that's all from all students. If you still have any questions, we still have some time and we can ask to the NJ and let us know. I think almost most of the questions we have answered it, but still, if you feel that you have any more questions regarding the KSI, um, yeah, Abhinay, last one. Yeah, sure, Abhinay, just go ahead. Whatever the questions you have, um, so we will answer you here. Okay, I have a couple of questions for you, NJ. That
Sure.
what about the transfer students requirement? It will be remain the same like international students, or you have different policy
No.
for the transfer?
It will be different for transfer students. For transfer students, if you have completed a degree within the United States, be it a bachelor's degree or higher, then you do not have to submit TOEFL and you do not have to submit WES.
Okay.
You do have to submit an application form and fee. You do have to submit the passport, visa. At that point, you would have a visa if you're a transfer student. So, yeah. And then all of this information, it could be viewed on our website. I'll take you to that now. It's a very, very helpful tool for you guys. And it also, like, as you can see from the very home page, you get the apply now, apply online feature available to you. And the admissions criteria, it's all defined here as well. Under international students, the application process, and these are the application documents that must be submitted. And so see here it says WES or ECE if you have not completed a degree in the US. And financial statements are still required as well for those that are applicable, meaning if you already have an I-94. So transfer students generally always have this, and an I-20, they would provide us with that, and of course the visa. So for transfer students, the requirements differ, and that's all described in our website, and it's very streamlined: admissions, application process, and then you just click onto international. And the other thing I was mentioning about our campus, you can learn more about our location, virtual tool, which will guide you on a couple of images of KSI and its surroundings. And then you have this great transportation feature where you can look up how to get to KSI using public transportation. And there's also quick links to bus fares and CTA train fares and stuff. So it's all very useful. And we differentiate from weekend to weekday, and we really nicely describe it out to you that this would be the stop. Here's how it looks, and so on and so forth. So you can find a lot of useful information on our website. And then you can learn more about our faculty on our website as well, as mentioned. Under academic, you can go to faculty, and then that has these links provided for our faculty members. And clicking on them for more information, you'll see their education, their scheduled teaching, their professional development, and so on. We also have news and events mentioned on our homepage. And then here we have the live chat feature, and that you would be able to chat directly with me or with another officer, and we could definitely help you out with any brief questions you may have. So the apply now for the fall. If you click onto that, you'll be directly taken to our application form. This is what our application form looks like. There's your mailing address, you're applying for whichever field, how you heard about KSI, and then a brief statement from you, and then here you can mention your credit card information. So yeah, that's all provided for you as well. And you can learn really everything that you would need to know about the school through this. And we also describe the CPT requirements. Up above, there's an International Students tab, and then this goes into the CPT, OPT information. So CPT requirements, application processes, and guidelines and limitations, that's all described on our website.
Okay, thanks. So I just received two and three more questions, so we'll
Great.
bind it up after this. So one question
Okay.
by Abhinav that my experience will matter to get any merit scholarships in the future.
Yes, for merit scholarships, you have to have a GPA that is at least 3.75. And that means that you're maintaining like a B+8 average in your courses with KSI. And the application time is described on the application form. If you go to the All Forms section, there should be a merit scholarship application. So that will lead you to what you actually have to submit. So yeah, you actually need just a 3.5 GPA, and the awarded amount is listed there, and that would be the awarded amount for the semester. So that's roughly 1 credit that's being granted off to you. So there's a 500-word minimum essay required on recent computer science related projects, and then we have deadlines here. The deadlines, they can be made a little bit flexible if you just correspond with us via email, so we can inform the Dean of Academic Affairs, because that's the person that takes care of scholarship applications.
Okay. One more question asked by Praveen, that is any teaching assistantship or research assistantships are available?
Yes, we do have that made available. That is all, after you've been with the school for some time, then you can, work with your professor to discuss that. That's one of the things that our professors will actually look out for is, seeking out students that have that interest in KSI, and then they propose those information to them of being a TA or doing some extra research work. And we also have affiliations with the SEKE and DMS conferences. So some of our students apply to those conferences to get their papers published, and that qualifies them in the research category.
Okay. Okay. Um, the second last question is that any placement assistance from the university after completion of course?
We don't have any placements that are done through the school, but sometimes there'll be companies that reach out to KSI and they want to just post an advertisement like, oh, we're looking for a Java developer, for instance. So we'll provide that info on our website, but as a directly assigning you somewhere, we do not do that.
Okay. So my last question of today webinar is, would you please let me know the entire tuition fee for CIS or MIS program?
Sure. So let's look into the tuition and fees section. So tuition and fees, you have for the computer information sciences program with a concentration or without. For international students without a concentration, it would be 20,000. So that's 20,736. And then for with a concentration, it's 22,464. So yeah, that's what you're looking at. And then with prerequisites, if you don't have a computer science background, it's 27,648, and then with a concentration, it is 29,376.
Okay, I think that's all from all our students and our counselors. And thank you very much for your time. I think it's early morning there. You spend your time, and that is again, it's a weekend there. So thank you
Oh
very
no,
much.
absolutely, it's our pleasure. We really thank you guys for giving us the opportunity to reach out to students. So, yeah, this was great.
Okay, okay. Thanks, Abby, to start this webinar, and thanks all the team member, and especially the students. I knew it's a late evening in India, and you spend your time with us for this webinar. Thank you very much, and we look forward for our next webinar in coming future. And happy weekend ahead. Bye bye, NJ.
Thank you so much.
Okay, goodbye. Thank you.